Hey everyone, Silas here again. Time for Mega Man 4. Take 2. I've already done this. Just have to redo it because the original take didn't go so well in video quality wise. I managed to succeed, but that's a story for a different time. Anyways, it's time to talk about the plot of the series that we've been playing up to this point. Yay! Basically, we know all this. We know that Dr. Light built Rock and Roll, how the 6 first Robot Masters, who Dr. Light also built, went evil because of Dr. Wily, and we're going to completely ignore Proto Man because we just introduced them in the last game. A lot of awkward text spacing in this game, as this intro will no doubt prove as well. Say hello, Rock, and prepare to become your counterpart, Mega Man. Awaken, young Mega Man, for it is time to play this game. Good job. So, yes, now that Mega Man has been born, it's time we, discuss this game. We've defeated Dr. Wily 3 times. He's apparently dead after his castle collapsed on him. And then totally going to ignore the fact that we saw the Wily saucer in the ending of 3. Pay no need to that. And we have a new enemy, Dr. Cossack, the scientist from Soviet Russia. Yes, he built his own set of 8 Robot Masters and wants to defeat Mega Man to prove that he is the best, not Dr. Light. Makes perfect sense. We also have the new Mega Buster, the weapon we've been using this entire time. It's just a little different in this game. Mega Man 4 also kind of balances a lot of things that were slight issues in the first 3 games. We'll kind of discuss them as we go along. So let's get right into this. As I said before, I've already done this, so I should have a fairly easy time doing this, so let's start off with Pharaoh Man. Pharaoh Man being my favorite of the set because, this is Soviet Russia. Why are we going to a freaking desert? Yes, so let's discuss what the new Mega Buster does. If you've been paying attention up to this point, you know that the Mega Buster up to this point just allows 3 shots on the screen. Now, we can use charge shots. Unfortunately, charge shots in this game, not very useful just because of how small it is. In later games, this is fixed by making it wider and also move at different speeds to try to balance the charge shot so it's a little more worth using. Granted, it's still worth using at this point regardless, because it's just how much more damage this does, and sand scorpions are going to kill me. Phew. So let's go ahead and switch over to Rush Coil, because we need to go to this side. You can actually go down, but the path we need to take goes to the right. I believe you can make that jump without Rush Coil. I just prefer to do an aided jump, and wow. So glad this shortcut's gonna make me teleport. Oh yeah, by the way, this is totally a shortcut. By doing this path, we actually skip a good half of the level. Mega Man has become Lime Green Man. Lovely. So yes, this is the midpoint. We skip basically half of the first half. So, the second quarter? I don't know. Bats make a return for Mega Man 2, and this time we get evil death platforms that try to remind us of the evilness that is Footholders from Mega Man 1. How cute. No one will like Footholders. No one. Bat. Oh, goody, you gave me an extra life, something I'm not allowed to use. Isn't that precious? This room does nothing. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that room's pointless. Why is it there? I'll talk about the balloon adapter that we got later in a stage where I'm going to totally die. Oh, and that's a perfect time to use the balloon adapter. Balloon adapter works like item 1 from Mega Man 2, just with some slight modifications. The first being that when you jump on it, you actually kind of slow its ascent down just a little bit. It's not too big, but it's enough to note. Also, mummies. Oh hey, we're already at Pharaoh Man. Well, I took an extra life from a random enemy. That means trap card is initiated, so let's go. Creepy Pharaoh guy. Let's start this up. Pharaoh Man, you want to try to keep close and not jumping around the room, which he's not following the pattern he's supposed to be. Like, come on, Pharaoh Man. Oh dear. Come on, Pharaoh Man. Ah, we got ya. Kaboom. Alright, so yeah, Pharaoh Man, want to try to keep him using his charged version of the Pharaoh Shot, which we'll be getting shortly. You don't want him jumping around the room. That makes it a little difficult to deal with him. Not too terribly difficult, it's not like Quakeman or anything, but it just works better if you can try to trap him on that center platform with you on it as well, and get off a lot of charge shots. So hey, 1 down, 7 to go. I knew we wouldn't have a problem. Too bad with that. Okay, next up, Dustman. We're just gonna clean up a little more of the Robo Master so we have a better chance at getting through the game, because Dustman's weapon, the Dust Crusher, is probably one of my favorites in this game. I have a lot of favorite weapons from this game, Pharaoh Shot being one of them. Though it's gonna be mostly useless in this run. Still has its uses. Like that. As you can see, Pharaoh Shot works similar to the Atomic Fire from Mega Man 2, in that you charge it. Now, that's the key difference, how it charges. As you see, when you charge Pharaoh Shot, it forms the energy ball above your head. Unlike Atomic Fire, which just charged. This energy ball actually works as basically another shot of it. When you charge it up, you actually have 2 uses of the full charge. And as long as you outright kill the enemy that you hit with the full charge, you get to keep it. Now, when you lose it, well, that's where things change a little bit. You still get to keep the full charge, so that's always helpful. Let's get rid of you, and 1 more ladybug to get with the job. At this point, I think we're done, but hey, Eddie. Large life, thank you. That is Eddie, also known as Flip Top. Eddie was introduced in this game by just kind of having another new helper for Mega Man. I mean, we introduced Rush in the last game, so let's introduce one in basically every game for the next few games. Eddie is interesting. He just exists to give you a power-up randomly in certain stages. The randomness is what power-up he gives you. Could be an E-Tank, could be an extra life, could be large life, or large weapon. He tends to divert to something you really don't want. Ooh, I can't believe I pulled that off. I'm gonna wait till it goes back down. Oh, and that was really close. That was really risky. Why'd I do that? Oh well. Hey, mini-boss. Don't remember your name. You explode. Guess you're not really a good mini-boss if you just kind of break like that. Oop. So yeah, Eddie is useful, but he tends to divert to something you really don't want. You can get E-Tanks, as I said, from his item list, but those are really rare, and if you happen to give you an E-Tank, something's not right. The game just wants you to die. Ah, oh, Dustman. Dustman has an easy pattern. Should have started with him, but I wanted Pharaoh Shot first. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm just learning. He also works a little like Magnet Man with his invincibility phase, which he wants to abuse. And again. Seriously, the first time I killed you, you hardly used that. Seriously, what's going on? Time to talk about what the deal with the Mega Buster is in this game, because there's really nothing else to talk about during this fight. That you've seen everything Dustman can do. The Mega Buster has been changed in about two ways. Not only do we have charge shots, but we also have a problem with the regular Buster. With the regular shots, they only do 1 damage to bosses now, which is a significant problem. Charge shots make up for this by doing 3 damage. This has become a box standard in the game, as now every boss takes the exact same damage from the Mega Buster. There will be later points in the game, the series, in which they try to balance this a little more by making one of the bosses weak to charge shots. Effectively, they take double damage. You'll notice that in later games, such as Mega Man 9 for sure, that most bosses will take very little damage from the Mega Buster. But there's going to be about 1 boss in every game after this game who will take double damage from the Mega Buster. And Dustman's dead, so yay. And I'm still not finding the spot. There's a spot in every boss room. Once you know where it is, it's pretty easy to find, and if you can stand in that spot, Mega Man will actually not jump for joy to do the power absorption, but he'll just instantly teleport to the middle of the room. We get Dust Crusher, we'll talk about that in the next stage. Last time I went to do this stage, I did it first in my order, but hey, that wasn't a very bright idea to do. So let's go ahead and do Brightman stage. Brightman's kind of interesting. Oh boy. Brightman is definitely fitting that category of easy stage, difficult boss. So let's go ahead and equip Dust Crusher. And Dust Crusher, when you shoot an enemy, it explodes in this X pattern. Most games will call it a cross, but the idea of a cross pattern kind of differentiates from games. Like, sometimes the cross is a plus, sometimes it's an X. I'm just going to call it an X because it's easier that way. Think Silk Shot for Mega Man X2, but it doesn't fall towards the ground. It just moves in a straight line. Dust Crusher happens to be one of the more powerful weapons. Oh dear. There we go. Yes, grasshoppers. Thank you. It happens to be one of the more powerful weapons because of the spread shot it does. You'll typically hit an enemy at least one extra time. Sometimes two. Which is why it's one of my favorite weapons from this set. Pharaoh Shot being the other, which is just a very powerful charging weapon that can be aimed, so nice wide shot, aimable. So yeah, if you get an aiming weapon, really like it. So we're going to take this side path real quick, just to hop on over, get some goodies. Specifically, an E-Tank and a extra life. Unfortunately, one of the problems with this game is E-Tanks aren't exactly a rare occurrence. Personally, I feel there's way too many. Good to use a balloon adapter just to get through this room. Otherwise, you'd have to use Rush Coil, and Rush Coil kind of sucks. If you can avoid using it, please do. So just gonna have my charge shot ready so I can murder the totem pole as I say here. Oh, nice! Insta kill. I think that was the last totem pole though, but no. Surface says no. Grasshoppers are kind of weird. They seem to have a pattern with their jumping, but I haven't managed to exactly spot it. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill you. Time for the final room. This is a little tricky compared to other rooms in the stage, so main reason, these things. We saw them in the first room. Didn't really get to see what they do, but these platforms, it's what really makes it difficult. Sometimes they won't cooperate correctly. As such, I'm just going to wait for the bullets to move by. This one, sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate by letting you jump on. Wonderful. Well, hopefully I get a large life before Bright Man, because we're pretty much there. And the answer is no. Bright Man's interesting. He uses the Flash Stopper, which is basically Flashman's weapon, but better. A lot of improvements over Mega Man 2 stuff, if you've noticed at this point. But the key thing is, he only uses it when his health is at very specific levels. My job is to try to keep him away from those HP values as best as possible. 5, 6, 7, 8. You actually want to get as much distance as you can. 11, 14, 17, 18, and we're good. He's not going to use the Flash Stopper, so yeah, that's what the counting is for. It's to avoid landing on one of those values that he will use the Flash Stopper on. Just gonna line myself up. All the numbers are divisible by 4. There are 3 of them. I know the first one is 12, so that's what the counting's for, just to avoid those values. With that, we get Flash Stopper, which, like I said, is an improved version of the Time Stopper. It stops time, but it doesn't stop it till the weapon runs out of energy. You can also fire the Mega Buster while the weapon is active. So, pretty interesting. Also, one of my favorite weapons of the game. If you've noticed, I've gotten my 3 favorite weapons. Let's continue.